Well, welcome into this Monday edition of Breaking News Rocked On Detroit Lions podcast. It is April 15th, 2024, roughly 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. I was just getting ready to take off and enjoy some of this good weather, get some things done, and bang, Detroit Lions put out a tweet, officially re-signed 3 exclusive rights free agents, including linebacker James Houston, Craig Reynolds, and Coyote Awosika. Welcome back to the D, gentlemen. I'm excited to see James Houston back. There was a lot last season that was left on the table for him. I know that he's got to be just ready to get out there and do exactly what he did in 2022, was break onto the scene and show us who James Houston really can be. He bulked up while he was off. James Houston was looking massive there towards the end of the season. It'd be interesting to see how he comes in this season. Is he going to stay bulked up? Is he going to get back down to his normal playing weight and be as fast and as elusive as he can be on the outside of the defense? The Lions are starting to stack up on the right side of the defense here. I think that we're going to have an incredible camp competition, especially bringing back James Houston. I'm excited again, like I said, to see him come back. So last year, like I said, James fractured his ankle, I think was the official diagnosis. Took about 12 weeks or so for him to come back. Appeared in one of the last games of the season. Stat-wise, did not do so hot. Obviously, he was just getting reacclimated. But in 2022, James Houston broke onto the scene in the last 7 games and started with 11 tackles, 1 assist, 12 combined, 10 solo tackles, but 8 sacks. More than 1 sack per game. That is incredible numbers. And it was incredible to watch him and Aiden Hutchinson really get after it. I want to see it again this year, so I'm wishing James the best. I hope he gets back to his 2022 playing form. And it really puts the competition to Matthew Betts and anybody else that we bring in, hopefully, through the draft. Little tidbit here. So Craig Reynolds is 27 years old. He wound up going undrafted out of Kutztown back in May of 2019. He signed a 3-year, $1.75 million contract with Washington, but was then cut and then later re-signed to their practice squad. Reynolds later joined the Falcons in 2019 and returned to Atlanta on a futures contract after the season. The Falcons elected to cut him loose last offseason, and he caught on with the Jaguars practice squad in September of 2020. After a short stint with the Jags, Reynolds signed with the Lions in 2021 and has been with the team ever since. In 2023, Craig Reynolds appeared in all 17 games for the Lions and rushed for 179 yards on 41 carries. He was especially needed, during times of when David Montgomery went down, Jahmyr Gibbs went down for a little bit. So it's good to see him back. I think that we're all going to remember that hit that he levied on Carlton Davis, who's now a part of the team. In that Tampa Bay game, incredible hit. So that's the type of plays that we're looking, for from Craig. Somebody to be out there in space, making plays for guys to get free. He definitely plays well on special teams as well. So glad to see Craig back in the house. But in 2023, he averaged 4.4 yards per carry. I mean, that's pretty solid for a third-tier guy or a third running back. Pretty solid numbers. Had 5 receptions, 47 yards, and 1 touchdown. 1 receiving touchdown. Back to Houston here. Houston, 25 years old, 6th-round pick by the Lions out of Jackson State. Back in 2022, he signed a 4-year, $3.8 million contract with Detroit. However, the Lions released him coming out of the preseason and re-signed him to the practice squad. So that is why his contract is kind of funny. Typically, when you are drafted, you have a 4-year deal. And for whatever reason, the Lions felt like he wasn't good enough to make the 53, and he was cut. So that's why he was then re-signed to a 2-year deal, which made him an exclusive rights free agent this offseason. Lions got him back, though. So Detroit promoted him from the practice squad in November of 2022, and that is when the explosion just happened. I mean, the guy was relentless. He was all over the place. I'll never forget, the 1 sack that he had on Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. I mean, just the way he shot off the edge and cleared, the backfield quickly and got to Allen. I mean, took him down. It was incredible. I want to say he did the same thing against Trevor Lawrence in a game in 2022, but now my mind is escaping me. But there was another sack where you just couldn't stop the guy. He was just too relentless, too quick off the edge. He looked like a different player out there, kind of Von Miller-esque, if you will. Now, I'm not comparing him to Von Miller, but Von Miller was one of those guys that you just could not control him on the edge. So I'm excited, like I said, multiple times now, to see James Houston back in the Honolulu blue, or will it be black or charcoal gray, as we're hearing? So we'll see what happens. New jerseys come out here in just a few days. The Jets jerseys were just released. And if that's any indication as to what the Lions' new jerseys are going to look like, the stripes are there. I didn't see any stars, but I really don't see a big change in the jerseys. So I would a little underwhelming by the Jets. I'm hoping the Lions don't follow suit and they really come out with something incredible and allow it to be an exciting season with new jerseys and not something that we're going to hopefully regret, which I don't expect to happen. Lions have done a great job with the helmet. I think they'll follow suit with the jerseys. To wrap this up, though, Coyote Awosika obviously has been a backup offensive lineman since he's been in Detroit. Pretty underwhelming as far as what he's been able to contribute, but he's still growing. He's still learning, and the Lions can never have enough offensive linemen in camp. We'll see, depending on, what happens this draft. If, the Lions bring in, 2, 3, 4 guys, throughout the draft in UDFA, what happens there with Coyote? I know that Dan Campbell speaks highly of him. Hank Fraley speaks highly of him. I think he's just still a little bit raw and still learning his way and how to work his way, into becoming a Detroit Lion for the future. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thanks for joining me, guys. Appreciate you, as always, being part of Rock Down Detroit Lions podcast. Your breaking news edition here. Lions got 3 of them back. So welcome back to the D. Coyote Awosika, Craig Reynolds, and James Houston. We'll see you tonight, Mock Draft Monday. It's going to be a different one. I'm not going to prepare a ton tonight because I'm trying to prepare for next week, which is the big one. So 4-hour show. It's going to be huge. Giving away 4 jerseys. If you guys have not checked it out yet, go to the YouTube, check out the video about the jersey entries. It's free to enter. But if you want more opportunities, you can buy coffees, do super chats, and you get entries for every donation that goes to the channel. And 100% of that money goes back into the channel and back to the fans. That's what we like to do here at Rock Down Podcast Network, Rock Down Detroit Lions podcast. All right. We'll see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Don't be late. Take care. Bye-bye.